Palantir just went up about 30% over the last few days based on their Q4 earnings. And I wanted to talk about it because I decided to make an investment Monday morning and was also an investor before Monday morning for over a year now. For those that don't know, Palantir builds software that helps governments and companies better understand themselves and all their data so that they can operate more efficiently. It was founded in 2003 by Peter Thiel of Founders Fund, Joe Lonsdale of 8VC, and is run by Alex Karp, the CEO and founder. Palantir was originally founded to serve the government. Its claim to fame was helping to capture and neutralize Osama bin Laden, and it's been serving the U.S. government, Ukraine, Israel, and our allies, and is very much a pro-American company. That's something that I personally like about it, is that it feels like it's a software company that's supporting the American interests. I think that's extremely important. And it's one of the few software companies, if not the only software company in the world at their scale, that's helping in Ukraine and Israel at the same time. So I think that's a really important work that they're doing. They went public in 2020 via direct listing, meaning that they didn't issue any new shares. They went public at a $16.5 billion market cap. And at that point, Peter Thiel himself, through his various investment organizations, was the largest shareholder in Palantir, which I think is pretty cool. Some of their customers include Morgan Stanley, Merck, Airbus, PG&E, Ferrari, Cleveland Clinic, and many more. And they have some strong partnerships with AWS and Microsoft. And Alex Karp, in his letter to shareholders for 2024, he was saying that their software and their capabilities are just scratching the surface. And he thinks when people and the analysts try to map out the software market and how big it could be, his response would be that the software market is really completely untapped and that we are in the early innings of software playing out as it touches every aspect of our life and continues to improve business outcomes for their customers. They have 4 products, but really you can think about it as their Gotham product, which serves the defense and government. It helps do things like organize soldiers and ammunition and just make sense of it all in a centralized database so it's easier for users of the military to understand. And they take in all that separate data and help present in a way that's really useful and then help you optimize your operations with that data. And as you can imagine, over the years, you build up a lot of debt in information tracking, and Palantir is really helping companies optimize their operations. So this is really good for the U.S. government. And their Foundry product, which is their other main product, is basically serving commercial customers. Like I said, it's in healthcare, it's in retail, supply chain, energy, finance, AML, you name it. Palantir is basically helping these companies take in all their software, take in all their data, and figure out ways where they can increase revenue, lower costs, and just optimize their operations. And they're showing that they can, do things like increase Airbus manufacturing capacity or use less energy, all these different ideas that they're coming up with when they're able to ingest the data. What's really important about their AI product to understand is before it was taking them maybe weeks or months to onboard new commercial clients. This is why they had 90 pilots in 2022. But with AI, which they launched in April of 2023, they are able to onboard clients in days and provide value right away. They're calling these things like AI boot camps, where it's like, hey, work with us for a few days. We'll do an AI boot camp with you with our artificial intelligence platform, and we'll show you how much value we can provide. And then you're just going to want to work with us because the value that we provide is so good that they have so much faith in their product. People just aren't even understanding Palantir is an AI company. They had just an absolutely monster year in terms of the numbers. I mean, they did over $2.23 billion in revenue. About $1.23 billion of that was government and $1 billion was commercial. So it's almost about 50-50 now. I wouldn't be surprised if the commercial revenue starts to really skyrocket and become a majority of their business line. They are really becoming the AI company to help massive Fortune 500 companies optimize their operations. But what's really interesting, which is where Alex Karp wanted investors to focus on, was their U.S. commercial business. This grew in 2023 36% year over year to $457 million, just the U.S. commercial business. And just in Q4 alone, they grew from the previous Q4 70% year over year. So this growth is truly exceptional. They now have over 500 customers, 100 with over $1 million contracts, 37 with over $5 million contracts, and 21 customers doing over $10 million with Palantir for their software. So you can see just how valuable this software is to customers. And it's interesting hearing Alex talk about this, because what he says is, look, people offer PowerPoint decks, say that they have the best software, but like Palantir really does have the best software. And you can see that by the way that we help companies generate revenue, increase their operations, and that's why they're willing to pay us big money for it.
Why should I, just as an axiomatic thing, if you have a software product, you always want to get paid after you deliver value. If you've got a PowerPoint, something that doesn't work, something that's not valuable, you want to get paid before you create value. We know it's valuable. We know it's much more valuable than people understand. We know we're going to continue to augment that value, and we're going to get paid along the way.
Yeah, if you're helping someone make $20 million, they'd be willing to spend $10 million any day of the week. That investment makes sense. And that's how good the Palantir software is. And so Alex says he's not too focused on price. They're saying that the quality of their product offering will speak for itself and the numbers will follow. And I love that mindset. Palantir had their first full profitable year of $210 million in profit. That's 5 consecutive quarters of profitability. They now have $3.17 billion in cash, so their balance sheet is one of the strongest in the S&P 500 with very little liabilities. And what got investors most excited is looking forward. They're looking to do about $2.66 billion in revenue in 2024. U.S. commercial revenue is supposed to increase by 40% to $640 million in revenue. And Alex is saying that their AI offering is going to be the future of the company and that Palantir is just getting started. Personally, Palantir is my second largest position behind Tesla, and this is a company that I plan to hold for a long time. I think this is going to be an incredible investment, and my target is sometime in the early 2030s. This company is going to be valued in the $300 to $500 billion mark and doing around $25 billion in revenue. I think probably by 2033, so give it a decade. I think this is going to be one of the most valuable AI companies to own, and they were in AI before it's hot. I think Alex Karp is a legendary leader and supporting the Western interests. I'm just so stoked to be an investor. I think the company might be valued a little bit hot right now. I think there's a lot of interest. But it kind of reminds me of Tesla. There's a big retail investor movement around it. People are buying in now, understanding the long-term potential. And eventually, as they continue to execute, it will always be, a little bit more priced than it should be. But that's what the price you have to pay for the best companies in the world.